Hi guys, so as many of you do know, we do have 5 cats. We have Martha, Frank, Helen, Clara, and Monica now. And it is not always seamless. Cats are territorial, there are a lot of them here. And so I wanted to share a little bit about what we do to make things go easier at home, because I've gotten this question a few times now on our weekly story Q&As here on Instagram. So we got Frank first, and then after that, we got Clara and Martha almost around the same time. They're not from the same litter, but when we brought them home, Frank warmed up to them right away. We didn't know as much then about introducing cats, and these were kittens that we were introducing to our older male cat. And we kind of just, supervised, but we put them all right in. And surprisingly, Frank warmed up to all of them right away. He was a little weirded out by Martha. He tolerated her. She wanted to be around him, but you could tell that she made him a little uncomfortable sometimes, so we would intervene. Ada, he got along with right away. And these two, still to this day, are very close. They play together, they sleep together, they groom each other. And now Frank and Martha are also very close. All of the cats like Martha, but not all of the cats like everyone. So a year or so later, we then brought in Helen. Helen and Martha have the same parents, but they're not of the same litter. Martha very quickly warmed up to Helen. Martha's our most skittish cat. We took things a lot slower with Helen, introduced her a lot more gradually. Things with them went really well. Clara bullies Helen, and for some reason, Helen does not like Frank. So she gets along exclusively with Martha, but none of the other cats. And then we did take in Monica this past year. Monica is Helen and Martha's mother. She was a breeding cat. They retired her and we took her. Martha really likes her. Everyone likes Martha. Helen is not a fan of Monica. Monica is very neutral to all the other cats. And we took things very, very slowly when introducing Monica, because this was the first adult cat that we had introduced into the group. But she spent the first 2 weeks in a separate bedroom. Then we started introducing through a gate, and we always ended things on a positive note, 1 cat at a time. And since Clara is our testier one, she definitely is the more dominant of all 5 of the cats, or at least she thinks she is. We did introduce her last, but everyone else we introduced Frank first, and before the other ones were even in the same room with her, they were just being, introduced through the gate. We were allowing Frank to go into the room with her because, again, he was very neutral. He would turn his back on her. He would let us pet his stomach, just all around making her very comfortable instead of being too pushy like Clara generally is. Now, they are all out together. About 2.5 weeks after we got Monica, and one of the times that we let her out of the room, she decided that she was just one of the cats now and she was out there to stay and she didn't want to go back in the room. She kind of minds her business. She keeps to herself. She's not pushy with the other cats. She's polite to them, though, if they do come up to her. So that went far more seamlessly than we could have possibly imagined. Now, in a 5-cat household, there are several things to consider. We need to make sure that there are ample resources for everyone. So typically they will recommend that you have 1 extra litter box for the number of cats that you have. So we have 5 cats and we have 6 litter boxes. It can be difficult to find, where to put those, because I don't just like to have them out in the living spaces, but we have managed this just fine. Then on top of that, there is another bedroom that is the cat's room. And then there is also 3 water sources, and no one is fed in the same room. So during feeding times, they all go in separate rooms to eat, and they stay there until they're all done so that there is not food competition. Now, beyond this, Helen, as I've already told you, does not do so well with other cats. And in order to keep Helen happy, she needed a space that was just hers. So our bedroom, none of the other cats are allowed in it, with the exception of Martha and Helen. And Martha we introduced slowly to make sure that Helen would be okay with that. And she is. She adores Martha. It's the only cat that Helen will cuddle with, bathe, and, also play with. And so none of the other cats are allowed in that space except for Helen. And this does seem to help manage some of Helen's stress in this type of environment, since she's not a huge fan of the other cats. It's a space just for her and us, and she knows that she is safe in there and she doesn't have to worry about interactions with Frank or Clara, who she really doesn't get along with, or Monica, who I hope that in the future they get along, but right now Helen just seems very uninterested in having anything to do with her. There are a lot of things to consider, and the biggest thing that I can tell you if you're trying to introduce another cat is to take it very slowly. Let the cat let you know when they're ready, and in fact take more time than you think is necessary. It took weeks for us to appropriately condition Monica to all the other cats and to allow her to be out unsupervised with them. And this process went really seamlessly. And of course, I do think that also has to do with Monica's specific personality, but also because of those measures that we took to make sure that we are doing this gradually and not rushing things. All right, guys, I hope this helps.